Fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. What's going on? Only 1 minute late. That's right. That's right. I already know that y'all be paying attention, so try to make sure that y'all time is the same way I appreciate mine. Hope you guys are having a fantastic morning. You're not still hungover or too hit from, Christmas parties and all your hangouts and everything. So just want to make sure everybody's enjoying the top of their day. And whenever you get a chance, go on and subscribe to the channel, like and share so everybody know what we're doing over here and how we get into this information and getting everything out. Like I said, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. It's Friday. It's the weekend. What y'all got planned for the weekend? Let me know. I got some plans to go out. Got a couple of places I want to hit up. Go check on the motorcycle. Few things like that. Check on a couple of family members and stuff. But what I really wanted to get onto today, the topic, because we actually have 6 pieces. I'm not going to do a 4-piece. We're going to do a 6-piece. So let me get right into it. Let's go. Today, like I said, Putin says no peace in 2025. As we all know, Donald Trump has been promising that he's going to come in. Soon as he comes in, there's going to be a major difference in the war between Ukraine and the war that's going on with Russia right now. Putin says not so fast. And if it does happen, it's not going to happen in 2025. Okay, we also got a situation with President Biden, he signs in over 50 new bills into law on Christmas Eve. That's right, y'all. Over 50 new bills have been signed into law over Christmas Eve. He's been really active at this point in his presidency. To me, it seems like this is the most action and the most work that he's been doing the whole time he's been the president. A mad dash to the end of the road. He's got about maybe 20 something days, or I would say about 20 something days. So he's signing every bill you hand to him. If you give him your phone bill, he might even sign that one. Also, we got information on the Border Czar Tom Holman, who's doubling down on his threats, as well as a little bit of video that I found of what's going to be happening as far as like with the families and what they're planning on doing with the children of the illegal migrants that are here as well. They're bringing back the camps. So just to let everybody know, the camps are coming back. Also, there's going to be a major price tag for these deportations. People are not really understanding. It's going to be at least 351. That's right, 351. I don't know if I think it's $1 million for all this transportation, housing, and trying to keep these these migrant camps open. Excuse me, I made a mistake with that word. Don't want to go too far and have people thinking that we got some other crazy stuff going on right now. Also, what else we got here? What else we got? I think we got 2 more pieces, like I told you. Oh, I wanted you guys to see some action of actually what's going on with this war, because it's a real war going on. And when you see missiles being blasted into the air, it makes me feel like those missiles are going to be attacking somebody and hitting somebody. So it's like, this makes you think a whole nother way about war and about, is it really necessary? But I also feel like they're doing like a mad dash at the end of at this part of the war right now because of what Trump said, which is once I come in to be the president, I'm going to end this war. And like I told you guys before, we have a weak government right now, so it's easier and it's smarter to attack while this guy's the president instead of attacking while this guy's the president. So that's what he's doing, just so you know. Let's get into it. Also, I forgot to tell you guys, this is something that happened the other day in Phoenix. There was a shooting in an airport where some guy basically, I don't know, they said he went crazy. He basically went inside of the airport and pulled out a GUN, and they obtained him, but I think some people got hurt as well. Let's check this out first. It's more important than all this other stuff that's going on.
consensus here in the newsroom and I think in the community is what is happening here, right? So convoluted here. So we're going to give you a little bit more context. In this video, you can see police struggling with the gentleman, a little shaky there as it was all unfolding rather quickly. You had a pilot who also jumped in, and what looks to be a TSA employee here jumping in to help police arrest this man. We now know a little bit more about what happened here, but still a lot of questions as far as why this 21-year-old came to the airport with guns in the first place and almost no clothes. The video is jarring. A police officer struggling to restrain a man dressed only in shorts. He kicks the officer, then nearly gets away before others, including an airline pilot, step in to help.
This man received a text message that he believed there was an active shooter at Sky Harbor, and he arrived at the airport with firearms.
Police now say it was a relative who texted 21-year-old Cole Neenan about the earlier shooting and fight. That text led him to the airport. According to this media advisory, Neenan, quote, handed his firearms to other individuals at the airport just before he approached an officer who was posted outside the shooting scene. Neenan appeared irate and began yelling at the officer.
Correction. This is something that happened after the shooting. This gentleman got a text message that something happened. He decided to get his weapon and go to the airport. And I guess try to be a hero. I don't know. But yeah, just something I wanted you guys to see. Something in Phoenix because, you know, we always talking about New York, local places and stuff like that. So wanted to get on top of that and show you guys what was going on with that. Just get on this Biden thing right here with this signs in 50 new laws.
For the holidays with a bill signing blitz on Christmas Eve. He is now on his way to the U.S. Virgin Islands to spend time with his family the week leading up to New Year's. But before leaving, the president was busy able to sign 50 bills into law, including one that formally makes the bald eagle the country's official bird. CBS News congressional correspondent Scott McFarland joins us now with more on all of this. Scott, good to see you. So what are some of the other pieces of legislation that Biden signed on Christmas Eve?
This whole range of things that is now law, starting with bald eagles and concluding with a hazing bill that many people, many activists have been pushing forward to address college hazing. The anti-hazing law signed by President Biden would require schools to report annually incidents of hazing on their campuses. You know, federal law already requires schools to report safety issues, safety incidents on campuses. That now expands to include hazing. You also see at the bottom of your screen the No Corruption Act. That's actually addressed at members of Congress to deny members of Congress who are convicted of public corruption issues, bribery, fraud, from collecting federal retirement benefits. That doesn't come at a moment of trivial nature. It doesn't come in a vacuum, Chanel. It comes in the same year we saw members of Congress either convicted of or plead guilty to corruption issues. Bob Menendez, the New Jersey senator, convicted at trial. George Santos, the former New York congressman, pleaded guilty to face sentencing in February. Not a trivial moment for that issue. But also, we saw Paris Hilton lobbying.
We're also waiting for one other thing to come in where they sign in that the people in Congress can't trade and do stocks and stuff like that, because that's when they actually do sorts of like corrupt things which can make them benefit from it, like, you know, sanctioning and passing certain laws in certain states, knowing when certain things are going to go in so they can invest in that. Got to be careful with these corrupt people, like Spider-Man said, and like they said in the movie, with great power comes great responsibility, and that's on many aspects, not just what you can do with the power, because there's many ways that you can actually manipulate. You can use the power for good, or you can use the power for evil. In this case, we call it corruption. That means it's illegal, which is wrong.
In Congress in recent weeks, trying to get through a law that President Biden signed, among the others, that would crack down on abuse of young people in residential treatment facilities. Wide range of laws, but this is typical at the end of a Congress, the end of a presidency, when they're finishing up old business.
Yeah, like I said, he's doing a lot, signing, and he's got a few days left, so I guess they got stacks of stuff that they bring into him in his sleep. And again, on the weekend, you know, Biden is dangerous on the weekend and holidays. You know, the last weekend, what he did, he said he wasn't going to pardon his son, and he basically turned his back and did the same thing that he said he wasn't going to do. So, yeah. Also, there's no price tag right now for these for this sort of deportation that's coming in. I think I just wanted people to understand, you know, how much it's going to cost, because you know, everybody's worried right now. What's going to happen with the people that are migrants? What's going to happen? You know, how are we going to take care of them, and what's going to go on with the monetary, because it's going to be rather expensive. So a lot of people are wondering, how are we going to do that? Where's the money going to come from, and how are we going to fit that bill? Another thing I was trying to explain to you guys the other day, like, just because Trump wants to do certain things and he wishes to enact certain laws and moves, still has to get it signed off on. And if there's money involved, it still has to be passed by Congress and everybody. So a lot of times you might want to get something done, but that does not mean that it's going to pass. So let's see how much it's going to cost.
Have you been running as hard as we have? I'm sure you have, and I hope you catch your breath today. Get to just take in some of the holiday cheer. President-elect Trump is promising those tough border policies. It was part of the reason for his victory, as many Americans have been concerned about immigration, the crisis at our southern border, and his administration's selections are already preparing for day one. And Trump's top border official, Tom Holman, is certainly speaking out quite boldly with a lot in the press, with many people in many interviews, including News Nation. He is the incoming border czar. He says the new White House will bring back the migrant family detention in their border crackdown. Our Allie Bradley is joining us right now live. And Allie, you have the chance to speak with Tom Holman this morning. What did he tell you?
Yeah, Adrian, you're exactly right. So when Tom Holman is talking about family separation, he said, we won't separate families, we'll just deport them together. But here's the thing, these deportations take time. They're going to have to detain some of these people. And the reality is some of these individuals have had U.S. citizen-born children. You can't detain U.S. citizens. So the administration right now is navigating these pathways and says they're actually considering halfway houses for these U.S.-born children. Take a listen.
As far as U.S. children, that's going to be a difficult situation, because we're not going to detain U.S. citizen children, which means, you know, they're going to be put in a halfway house, or they're going to stay at home and wait for the officers to get the travel arrangements and come back and get their family. You know.
Imagine.
So we didn't know anything.
If you made $453,000 in 1 month doing affiliate marketing. This may sound like.
Well, the best thing to do is.
Now, I don't know if this is constitutional, Holman. I mean, this is kind of crazy. Wait a minute. You're saying you're going to keep people in halfway houses and you're going to detain them. Yeah, you're going to have to do a little bit more explaining on this topic so that we can really get what you're talking about, buddy.
That's going to be a difficult situation, because we're not going to detain U.S. citizen children, which means, you know, they're going to be put in a halfway house, or they're going to stay at home and wait for the officers to get the travel arrangements and come back and get their family. You know, the best thing to do is for families to self-deport themselves, because, you know.
He said the best thing for people to do is to self-deport themselves. Self-deport themselves is what he just said. Y'all heard him.
That makes it easier for the family. They can get their, you know, their arrangements all together, and they can leave on their own behalf.
Whew, right. So as we see, and there's also child immigration that we have to worry about, because they're saying that there's about 340,000 children that are in the country illegally with nobody basically parenting them or watching them. So that's another situation that we got to deal with. This is crazy. Oh, man. Woo! The Berg Hop said, let's go Trump. Droz52 says, let's meet up in person. Jay Hard said, I agree with that. Shh. James Flowers, what did you think happened to kids whose parents get arrested? Oh, you murdered someone, we can't put you away because you have kids? Ooh. James Flowers, that was hard. Jay Hard, I agree with that. D Rose 52, let's meet up in person. Wow, check it out, y'all.
So as you just heard, the border czar, they're saying that they want these families to make the decision to leave together on their own, saying that they're going to contact these families, are going to allow them some time to get their arrangements all together, and then they can self-deport. Holman says that the U.S. citizen child element has acted as a magnet, drawing more people to the United States. He says they want to put an end to that.
So this means that if you are a child and you were born in the United States and your parents come here illegally, or your parents have a child, or two people have a child in the United States illegally, you can no longer say that, oh, my child is here, so we get to stay. They're trying to get rid of that law right now.
Having a U.S. citizen child does not make you immune to our laws, and that's not the message we want to send to the whole world. That you can have a child and you're immune to the laws of this country. We can't send that message, because if we do, you're never going to solve the border crisis, because they're going to continue to come. They think there's a way out.
Now, Adrian Holman went on to tell me that when it comes to DNA testing, they found in the past that 30% of the families tested were fraudulent. They weren't real families. Under the Biden administration, they stopped doing mandatory DNA testing. It was a voluntary basis only. Tom Holman says they're going to put an end to that. They are bringing back mandatory DNA testing for every family unit. They're going to make sure those kids are with the correct families. He also says he's going to be working in lockstep with HHS as they oversee the Office of Refugee Resettlement, which handles these unaccompanied children. He says they have the data. He says he will be part of going and finding these some 320,000 unaccompanied children that.
So what they're trying to say is a lot of people make up a family. They'd be like, okay, this child is by itself. I got a girlfriend. Hey, let's say that we a family. Let's stay here and we can get better benefits. We'll be able to stay inside of the hotels and stuff like that. They'll be able to get benefits like food stamps as a family instead of like one individual, because that the government is more, they take more kind heart to an entire family being out than just one single male or one single female. They'll put you in a single shelter, or basically you'll be on the street. So 9 times out of 10, they will give you a little more help if you have a child, and that's why they do that. Yeah, super chat is available. Likes are available too, guys. I like to read your comments and stuff, but it would help out, for the channel, for our growth. Show some appreciation, some love. Let's keep it going. It's very, very severe and a very important topic. We got a little bit more on this to cover.
That are kind of unaccounted for right now. He says he is going to be there on the front lines helping find them, because that is the will of the American people, Adrian.
Well, that's a third of a billion, 300,000, a third of a million people who are underage, who are under the age of 18, who we don't know where they are. When they came into the country under the previous or this current administration, the Biden administration, there was absolutely no vetting. You and I have both been pretty vocal on social media going back and forth.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Like, there's been no vetting as far as like, how would you be able to really know if someone is a true family if they just come together and say, oh, we just came from, running from, our country and we have no papers. There was a fire and her name is this and his name is this and my name is this, and there's no sort of accountability for that. There's going to be some sort of ramifications. There needs to be some sort of ramifications to make sure that, guidelines to make sure that people are who they say they are. I mean, you can't even go get food stamps as a human being, as a United States citizen, unless you show fingerprints, social security, birth certificate. They want everything from us. But how is it not the same fairness for when it comes down to the illegal migrants? And not only that, but the amount of benefits that they get. It's just frustrating, and it's a slap in the face to all American citizens, as well as our veterans who are homeless on the street, who they step over every day. I live in New York City myself. I see how the migrants, and they look towards ourselves as black people, and how they look towards veterans and people who are homeless in the streets. Like, oh, we got money, we're doing this. They got Jordans on, they living in hotels, their wives and these made up families are getting about $14,000 on their EBT cards. I don't want you guys to think it's a game. Thousands of dollars. It's astronomical that it makes no sense. It's like ridiculous. And then you wonder why we're broke and our state is hurting so badly. And we call ourselves sanctuary, and we harbor criminals like the one that set the lady on fire on the train, because they know that once they do something, the only thing that they're gonna do is go to jail, get 3 hots in a cot and get deported and try to come right back again. It's ridiculous. It's truly ridiculous.
For different sourcing on this, most Americans want to know where those kids are, and most Americans, according to recent polling, are for mass deportations. But do we know, in terms of cost, what it's going to look like in terms of impact for the American taxpayer?
Yeah, so I obviously push the Border Czar on this topic specifically because he says that the mass deportations are going to come with a pretty hefty price tag. We're talking about $86 billion to basically implement this.
Okay, I made a mistake. I said 315 million. That's a real hefty number right there. 86 billion. Whoa.
plan to remove the millions of migrants who have come in under the Biden administration. Now, here's the deal, because you talk about around 11 million people are here that are living here illegally, right? Well, you say we're going to spend $1 million per person. That's only $11 million in a year. It's going to take decades for this to come out in the wash if we're talking about $86 billion. But he says what needs to be done has to be done. The American people voted for these mass deportations. He said that the American people will be better off in the long run. Take a listen.
No, I want you guys to see. It was another thing where they were showing the actual. No, God, let me just. There was somewhere where they were showing the actual places where people were staying at. Like there were cages. And it was just like, it's just terrible. You guys look at the thumbnail and you see a little photo on the right side where I actually got the actual image from. It's like cages that they have these people staying in. One lady, the last time Trump was president, she stayed inside of this place, this migrant camp for about 3.5 years, I think looking for her son or whatever. There's a story about it. But it's just a bad situation overall, and it puts a strain on our government. Don't think that I'm trying to side with anybody, because it does put a strain on our government and on our economy. Because the fact of the matter is, it's like we only have but so much, and we're hurting ourselves. We have a deficit that we can't take care of ourselves. We just got out of COVID, so how are we supposed to sustain all of the numbers of people that are coming over? I myself agree with people that say they allow people to come over because they seemed as if they were trying to thicken up a party, and then tell these people that, hey, we're the ones that brought you over. We're the ones that allowed you to work. Now vote for us. Because the other parts of the world understand that we don't make enough monetary. We're not going to work 3 and 4 jobs to try to pay rents that we can't afford. And we are demanding proper pay for the work that we're putting in, but they don't want to pay us that way. So what they do, they send people in like this, and they try to substitute us. Understand what's going on. Don't think it's anything else, because we're smart. We're not going to take the BS. And so they're trying to play another game on us as a people, trying to tell y'all what's going on. It's in our face plain as day. Because what would be the other excuse to allow something like this to happen to our country? Just doesn't make any sort of common sense. Appreciate you guys. If you could like, it's a lot of people in here right now. We got 548. This is 545 people. This is the most I've ever had on a live. Come on, y'all. Can I get the 45? Can I get the 45 on the live? Let me just get the likes. I don't want nothing else. Don't even subscribe. Just give me the likes. You don't gotta subscribe. Let me just see some likes go up. I have 6 likes right now with 525 people in the building. I got more content to shoot. I got some real stuff I want y'all to see after this. I promise you it's not gonna be no BS. So all I'm asking is if I can get some more likes. I got double digits now. It'll be crazy if we can get to, let me get 5 more and we good. 5 more and we good. Because I don't want the numbers to leave over here. Because I know y'all will leave and y'all get mad at me for not playing the heat. I got some heat coming, so don't go nowhere. All right, let's go. Well, we can get into some of these topics and stuff because we got a lot of people in the building. I wasn't going to do too much comments, but let me just go ahead and see what you guys are talking about. I'm not going to be able to get to everything because there's a lot of people here, and I apologize for that. And Larry said, hi. Slim Shady, hello. James Bravo, our government helps other countries first, like Ukraine and Israel, then America last. Damn it, Bobby, we never will deal with the deficit either. Spend money. Glenn Hand, spitting facts. Hemp Flowers, this guy is smart. Oh man, I like you, Hemp Flowers. Please subscribe to the channel. People like you, we need your information and your feedback. James Breathe, brother, you being brainwashed here. Tell me why I'm being brainwashed, and tell me why you think my people are being brainwashed. I don't think so. Let me tell you something that's severe, and I think that would be a great way to end this live. How about we look at something that's going on right now with people that we don't know what's really happening. Only thing that we know is what's being told to us. But there's millions of people that are dying and losing their lives right now. And we worried about stuff like politics and BS. We also have situations where we have ladies being set on fire in a train. but this person says that I'm being lied to. Illegal activity going on where a 7-year-old little girl and her mom are driving in a car, and another illegal migrant that's drunk driving hits the car, wraps the car, gets out of the car and takes a photo of this 7-year-old little girl and her mom. He drives off and the little girl passes. I don't think I'm being hard at all. I think I ain't being hard enough. I think if we be hard as a country, they'll get up out of here for real. That's what I think. We need to be harder and not being such wussies and get back to being men. And yeah, this is the bottom line of what I wanted to show you guys. Because Putin...
Any time that we feel there's a need to use it. Can you imagine that?
I'm just going to set you guys up for this right now. Putin is basically saying, like I said, you know, they're striking right now and they're hitting hard. They're going at Ukraine with everything that they have. They're trying to take over a certain section right now. And I know that they're ramping up this sort of attack because Trump is about to come into power. I know I just went a whole different direction, but people are dying. And it's very important for us to understand this because this could happen anywhere. And the way that it's happening is it's all because of one country not shedding light on what's being done in another country and people not sharing information. And then it's all bad information going back and forth. They did this, they did that. So when you got that happening and then you have a situation where power, you know, is agreed, somebody wants more power, more land, this guy right here. And then you got somebody like Trump saying that he's gonna step in and end the whole war by talking to him. He's just basically telling them right now, not true. And we might, but not in 2025, which means that we're gonna keep on bumping and dumping for a whole nother year because they're almost at the end. They're winning. Contrary to what people think, Russia's winning this war.
His country is ready to provide a platform for a conversation like that. And we are certainly not against that if it comes to pass. Because Slovakia is a neutral country. We believe it's a neutral country, it's a neutral position. And it's a very good choice for all of us. They keep receiving all sorts of aid from Europe. Without that aid, that they wouldn't only be able to fight, they wouldn't exist. And now they are punishing Europe, who is giving them money. I think right now the prices for gas is over $500 for 1,000 cubic meters of gas. So now they don't want to extend that contract. It's going to make things even worse, but it's Ukrainian policy. They decided to do that. So when they announced it, they said they're not going to extend the contract. There will be no contract. Now they realize it's a problem. The Intelligence Security Service said that Moldavia could become a new hotspot. Some say that...
And here we go with the actual footage of what's going on. He basically just said he's not going to stop doing what he's doing. And this is actual footage right here, y'all, of what's going on in Ukraine right now. Since March 2023, Melitop has been at war. I want you guys to just look at a little bit of this. And Russia just shot down a US-made F-16 fighter jet. That's that fighter jet that Biden gave Ukraine a few months ago. It just got shot down by Russia on Thursday. This is all of the catastrophic damage that's happening right now in Ukraine as of Thursday. They're claiming victory. It says Russia has dealt a major blow to Ukrainian forces in a battle on Thursday. Right here. You guys see the fighter jets out there. A US-made F-16 aircraft was shot down in Zaporizhzhia region, reported. And as you guys see the missiles, those are surface-to-air missiles right now. The incident reportedly occurred during missile strikes in that region. Those are heat seekers. Whatever's in the air When those go up, it seeks it and follows it and knocks it out. It was shot down at a launch site, so it didn't even get too far in the air. And look at these surface to missiles weaponry right here. This is not a game right here. This is not a game. Putin had already confirmed it. They already taken over major parts of this territory, except for the main artery. 12 enemy aircrafts launched missiles at Russia. And this is what made them, start going surface to air. So my thing is this. This is the part that I wanted to wrap it up with and ask you guys. I know you see those missiles going up and you see, all of the war and stuff happening there. My basic question is who's hurting from this? Who's taking the pain? Who's losing lives? And where's the catastrophe at? The people, the human lives. Even the people that are fighting. It's sad that something like this is going on. Hate to leave us on a note like this, but it's real and it's happening. I wanted you guys to actually see it's more than just a conversation that Trump needs to have to end a war, especially when Putin has already said it's not going to end in 2025. If that's what you're thinking, because we already close. We're at the end. And since this guy is still the president for like 26 more days, he's been striking even harder. It's kind of like playing chess if you think about it. Now that we do it like that, if you look at it, it's kind of like playing chess. It sucks, but it's life. And the fact of the matter why we come here is so that we can share and group all of this information as smart people, take the information and figure out what we want to do with it. I also like to get information from other parts of the world so that we're not always concentrated on one place. And I love you guys comment, and I love the fact that you guys come here every day and spend time with me. So I try to make sure that the content is good. I try to make sure that we have something, some meat on the bone to talk about. Might start off a little dry, but we get into it as we get into it. I appreciate you guys for helping me out to get this far. Got the channel monetized. Hopefully we continue to grow. We get better. I get some help on learning how to do these pop-ups and StreamYard and other launch things like that. And we all, continue to live life because that's what it's all about. We might be Democrats. We might be independent. You might be Republican. The bottom line is we're all people. We should care about each other no matter what. It's your boy BOOGOTTINYC, and like I always tell you, you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So like I always tell you, go over to the website, check out www.drinkbigdrip.com, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Get 'em! 1.